What is going on, guys? It's Adam, aka Marf. Today's show, we're going to be going over a lot of things, including Alaska, moving equipment all over Alaska. We're going to be going over that in just a second. First, our disclaimers. Remember, nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else with the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. With that being in mind, the internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. One article one day could be debunked the next. And of course, if that happens, we will correct it right here live. All right, and then also, if you're not getting notifications here, please make sure to sign up for our notifications on our website. My name is Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. This is a live call-in show. You will actually find our phone number right down here. It is 224400-MARF. It's going to be scrolling along that black line. You will want to press option 4. If you want to get in early, that's the best way to get on. Again, you don't have to wait until we are on calls to actually call in. Again, you can also sign up for our Marfoogle alerts over there on the website as well. Remember, that is where our bigger creators that we work with are writing articles for us, and that is also where we would let you know if we absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, knew something was going to go down, we would use that system. So, all right, moving on, if you want to follow along today, you can actually go to our website. It's all organized by thumbnail. So you would go to this thumbnail, our new front lines, Alaska beefing up. And once you actually go and click on that, you will see we have a bibliography, and it actually has every single article, every single tweet, every single video, every single picture, all on there for your access. Now, you can take a second device and actually read along with us, or you can read ahead, or you can read back retrospectively. The caller info will actually be there as well. You will see by the end of the show, this is actually updated live by Dex. Speaking of Dex, let's introduce my co-host and my best friend here, who also is our tech expert and screener. Dex, are you there, and can we do a sound check?
Hello, Adam. I am here, and hello, Foogle fam.
Well, again, we have some really kind of scary news in some places and some happy news in others. Obviously, everybody is still going through the same event that the entire world is going through. It is quite crazy to walk through a grocery store, and at this point, in most states, in fact, I only know to judge from my state, in Washington, absolutely every single person wears a mask or they will not be served in grocery stores, this and that. I've only had 2 times in the last few weeks where I've seen other people without masks, and it is pretty wild. Besides the debate, not even going into the debate between to do it or not to do it, it is quite surreal to walk and on a busy day at a grocery store, see every single aisle, people picking at shelves and looking at boxes, all wearing masks. I mean, no one saw that, this would be possible right now. Last year, did you ever think that you were going to be in a grocery store and look at a sea of masks? Eyes. That's all you can see on anyone now. And of course, now in 2020, nobody looks at each other in the eye. So basically, we have no contact whatsoever with other human beings. It's pretty weird. And it's quite, dystopian. The fact that most states, it's all over the place. It's everybody is complying. I'm in a state where almost everyone is complying, and it is pretty crazy to see. Obviously, there's arguments for both sides, but some people feel like they just don't want to be forced to do something, right? I actually have not seen too many people go against the grain. I saw a group of teenagers. There were about 4, kind of younger Asian guys come in. And it looked like they were maybe 18 years old, just came in from smoking something, all red eyes, and they were giggling when he said put on masks. They ended up just going outside, putting on masks, and coming back in because the manager said, we won't serve you here. It's pretty crazy that we are at that point, and the fact that our country is so absolutely on its head. And if people don't think that something bigger is going on here, then I don't know what to tell you. At this point, it's kind of hard to talk to people that don't understand that something bigger is coming. This isn't even the big part. This is day 5 in contagion. So I think that not only is it going to get worse, and that's not to be, half glass half empty. It's to be realistic. We need to expect realistic things from the future. We need to understand that besides all of this going on, they are saying that our world is going to change. The government is going to change how we live. We're talking about states actually saying and putting laws in place that will ban gas cars by 2035. Now that sounds pretty far out, right? Just like, I guess, what is that? Just like 2005 was so long ago, right? It really wasn't. We're talking about 15 years from now not having gas cars in the United States. That is actually not the biggest deal out of the stuff that they plan to do just in the next 3 years. We're talking about changing the planet. And whether you believe in the science that they're basing this off of as far as weather goes, it's still going to happen. And there's not much chance that you saying, hey, I don't believe that, is going to change how it's going to affect all of our lives. It might even affect where we live. It might even affect where your family lives. In fact, you might have the chance to live closer to your family because you may all be moved into megacities. Now, people say that that's a conspiracy, right? Well, there's definitely a con there somewhere. But again, there's been things that have been planned for 30, 40, 50, 60 years, and they're all coming into play. That's my opinion. Again, I believe we've shown you enough actual fact to at least let people know that something bigger is going on behind the scenes and something bigger is going to happen. All right, let's go into our first news. Again, crazy stuff here. Why Pentagon is beefing up its Alaska presence literally in sight. I like how they use that. Literally in sight of the Russian border. It says last week, Alaskan Senator Dan Sullivan announced that the U.S. Air Force would deploy 150 F-22 and F-35 fighter jets to his state, and said that they have as well the construction of America's first deep water port in the Arctic Circle. It says, we'll send a message to Russia and China about U.S. power projection capabilities in the Arctic. We have seen many times over the last 3 years, especially in this kind of circle of the internet, is people talking about the Antarctica and the Arctic. What is going on up there? They say that there's secret bases. Some say that there's secret bases all the way from back from WW1 and WW2. Some say that the Germans had bases there and still exist, and there's alien technology up there. No matter what you believe, it looks like Alaska is actually beefing up its military presence. Just to remind you as well, let's see if we have that piece here. Let's see here. This is what we covered just a few days ago. U.S. Army deploys long-range artillery systems to Alaska. Now, remember, this was under HIMARS, or the HIMARS movement was under a drill. It was under an exercise. Now, with what they're doing right now, with ordering the new planes, with putting the new port, do you still believe that they're just moving this artillery there for a exercise? And mind you, the exercise, I believe, was called, let me see if I can find it here, Defender Pacific 2020. Do you believe that this is all for nothing? This is all for just kind of pounding our chest? I personally don't, but I would love to hear your opinion about it in the chat. So, again, it says 150 Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor and F-35 Lightning II jets expected to be deployed to Alaska will constitute one of the largest, if not the biggest, single U.S. deployment of fifth-generation stealth fighters anywhere in the world, given estimates that the Air Force present operates 187 F-22s and fewer than 250 F-350s in total. If you guys are seeing these numbers, I want to make sure you guys understand this. Out of the entire world, there is 187 F-22s and fewer than 250 F-350s in total. And 150 of them are going to Alaska. So again, somebody might be confused, like, oh, is war starting tomorrow? No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that we are preparing our defenses. We are preparing our borders. We are preparing something for something. What I have also shown you, which you can go look up, and in fact, we have links for it in all of our shows previously over the last week and a half, over the last 2 months, really, when Xi Jinping told his entire military to prepare for conflict, using the W word, when you have Chinese media, state-owned and run, basically puts out a story saying that they told their military to say their goodbyes to family members. But, you know, none of this is going to happen, just like a pandemic won't happen, right? Just like when 11, 12 months ago we said that there was going to be a pandemic and there was proof of it. There was all of these drills. There were all of these exercises. If you don't know, you can go through my previous videos on Marfoogle News. We covered it for an entire month. It was the WHO putting out the future numbers on a imaginary pandemic and the financial constraints that it would have on the planet. And somehow all of our allies did well through it, but our enemies did not. And then all of a sudden there's one that basically all of our allies did really bad and our enemies did fine. So almost looks like, oh, wait, they're planning to do that? Okay, we'll do it first. Possibly, I don't know. But what I do know is that there's some pretty fishy stuff. And a lot of people are just so caught up in the left-right thing and news and getting stuck on the politics of everything that they're not looking at everything, the big picture, at what is going on. This isn't about who's. I guess if you haven't done some research, most of us believe that it does not matter who the next president is, as far as what will happen after the next president goes in, whether it be Mr. B or Mr. DT. Whether, you know, it's funny because people say, oh, they're controlled by strings, but then those same people say, oh, if this person's in, we'll be saved, and if this person's in, we won't. At a certain point, you have to realize that maybe even if you believe that DT will save America or Biden will save America, that either one of them in, you have to realize that they're a front for other things. There's people above them. They have advisors. They have whole teams. And they might have enemies as well. So say DT gets in. Half of the government is clearly trying to get this person out. I mean, it's not like it's a secret. They're very out loud and very open about it. There's basically the previous president is even saying, save America and get this man out, right? You can't be pretty much more obvious than that. Even if he does get in, or if he doesn't get in, the other guy gets in, whoever gets in, what do you guys think is going to happen? Even if DT's there, do you think that there's not going to be some forces that are against him that are in high power positions going and doing stuff? Either way, guess who profits from conflict if we do go to a mass scale conflict? Also, like to add that, you know, we've shown you that China basically has an order from heaven basically to rule the world. And Xi Jinping has been talking about that for the last few years. And he made himself the ruler for the rest of his life. He changed the rules and said, I'm ruler until I die. Then you've got Putin basically setting it up so he's president until he dies. They even joked that T-Man would do something illegally to stay in power for the rest of his life. There's a lot of things that we've covered. I hope that people are just ready for things to be different, no matter what happens. It says the Air Force is betting on new robotic wingmen. And actually, first So this is a good one. It says the next year will be pivotal for the Air Force's effort to acquire the new class of autonomous drones as the industry teams up and compete for a chance to build a fleet of robotic wingmen that will soon undergo operational experimentation. Get this, swear on everything. This is what it's called. The Skyborg program. You will be assimilated. Program is one of the service's top science and technology priorities under the Vanguard initiative to deliver game-changing capabilities to its warfighters. The aim is to acquire relatively inexpensive and irretrievable unmanned aircraft that can leverage artificial intelligence and accompany manned fighter jets into battle. Some of the companies that have done this, one of them actually said a comment saying that we will soon be able to actually use our all of our equipment sooner than you think. Pretty crazy that some of these contracted companies are accidentally blabbering that, yeah, their equipment's being ordered like crazy because they believe it's about to be used. No matter what you believe, again, you guys can do your own research on that. I think that even if it's not a big full scale thing, that we will at least get into some sort of another proxy that is bigger than what we just got out of or trying to get out of in the other countries. It says, I expect that we will do sorties where a set number of expected to fly with manned systems, and we'll have crazy new concepts of operation for how they'll be used, says the Assistant Secretary of the Air Force for Acquisition, Technology, and Logistics, Will Roper. And then it says the platforms might even be called upon to conduct kamikaze missions. The platforms might even be called upon to conduct kamikaze missions. That's pretty crazy. It says, I expect that the human pilots will decide, does the Skyborg return and land with them, or to go on and fight another day? Or is it the end of its life and it's going to go on a one-way mission, Roper said. Imagine all of the lives they could have saved in WW2 if they had this technology. I think about that when I see these things and I see the range on them. There was a lot of soldiers that perished in WW2 because they went on these one-way missions, and the only thing stopping them from coming back was basically gas. I mean, you're talking about the same thing happened after Pearl Harbor. Men died because they didn't have the technology. Even if they just had something that went out one way and did its job, boom, that could have saved so many lives in WW2. Unfortunate, because I know some of you lost your grandparents because of the lack of gas, I guess. But, some of this stuff that's going on, mind you, I posted on Twitter, the drone technology everybody, thinks is cool and everything is now already above us. And I don't think people realize that. I got an email from somebody I actually do trust a lot. And this person said that in 22 cities, we already have specific drones. And he actually showed me a video. Let me actually try to pull it up. I'm going to try to not show as much of the video. I think I might be able to show a little piece of it. But these drones are actually similar to regular helicopters. And they're about 3 feet wide. I think they actually say they might be about 4 feet wide. Let me show you. These things are absolutely insane. They're quieter than an actual consumer drone, and the camera systems and everything that they have are absolutely nuts. Let's see here. Yeah, check this out. So let me see if I can. Okay, so let me. I'm not going to do it until it passes this ad here. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and what it has is it has interchangeable. Let me show you here. It's made by Anduril. And here's the scariest part. In fact, I wonder if I can just play the part where he talks about it. It's by Google, Tesla. Check this out. Let's unmute this. So watch this.
But this is anything but. The new Ghost 4 is a drone because it flies autonomously, but it actually uses a helicopter rotor design instead of the traditional 4 rotors that you see on a normal drone. It's a direct drive brushless motor assembly, so we see none of the complex rotor mechanisms that we used to have in the old days of RC helicopters, and this thing is 2 meters long. Not only that, but it can be carried in a backpack. It can even lift cargo up to 35 pounds.
By the way, 35 pounds, just so you know how heavy that is. 5 pounds, say if you had 5 pounds of explosive, you could do serious damage. This thing is quieter than a consumer drone like a DJI Mavic 2. And it's 4 times as big. It actually carries, I mean, it could take a toddler and take them up in the sky. That's how crazy this thing is.
That's about 16 kilograms for those of us in Europe, but its payload can include cameras, laser targeting systems, and even radio jamming networks, so that it can be flying and surveilling whilst also jamming at the same time.
And just so you hear that, they can mass produce these, jam signals, and at the same time surveil. It has an interchangeable night vision camera. This thing is the same quality you would have, like, say, a Sheriff helicopter camera with.
How cool is that? It's even got numerous cameras and sensors on board as well, and the front payload is interchangeable, so you can have a gimbal camera on there or swap it out for a night vision camera. It's pretty flexible. Using all of these sensors and cameras, it's got onboard AI and also a system called Lattice, which computes all of this data in order to make it fly autonomously and even track vehicles and people with no user input. This is taking active track to the nth dimension. The best thing as well is if you've got more than one Ghost 4, if you've probably sold your house and your family to afford more than one, then they'll fly in formation. Imagine that. But you wouldn't even hear it coming because it's quieter than your average drone, as they've demonstrated in their video test. Now, you might be wondering who on earth are Anduril Industries. Well, they're an American-based company made up of experts from companies such as Tesla, Google, SpaceX, and Oculus. And get this, the founder is just 27 years old.
So I think you get the point. This is military technology, and what the email said, I should have just pulled up the email. But what the email essentially said is that not only do they already have this, they have a second model that is actually more advanced and slightly bigger. This one is the one that they've got kind of shrunk down. The bigger one actually has more features, and they're already using it in 22 states. So when we had all those calls about people calling in about these things in formation, and then possibly the ones that were in Colorado, I think it was top secret, and they didn't talk about it. And now, all of a sudden, the Ghost 4 Anduril is coming out. People said that they were small. Some of them said that they were helicopters. Some of them said that they were like this, but they were way too small to be a regular thing. And they were way too big to be a regular drone. They were mapping, and think about it. They said that they were in formation and they were doing these mapping movements. It was probably the testing of Lattice, and it was probably the testing of this technology. That's what I think, at least. This gentleman did a great job of explaining it. Again, this is crazy technology, but what they said is that it's already in 22 states and it's already being done, and it's all above us. And they're marking and tracking people. And I guess most people don't care, but I do. I think that this is, I think it's extremely creepy. Not to mention now they have mic technology where they can sit above you so far that you can barely even see a dot, and they can actually record all of your audio. They even have technology, of course, which they've had some primitive technology. Now they have new ways of actually hearing audio through walls. You're talking about stuff from Bond movies. So most people won't care. They'll say, oh, cool, they've got drone technology. We're talking about the way that they're going to start using this is absolutely terrifying. And, I mean, you want to talk about no freedoms. It's going to get to the point most people go, well, I don't commit crimes, so I have nothing to worry about. Trust me, I don't think you're going to have to commit crimes in the future to be affected by what's going to happen. They are, I mean, this is a big game. This is planning for the most detailed ever moving of human beings that you've ever seen. How do you control millions and millions of people? In fact, billions. How do you control an entire planet? Say if they have gotten together at the UN and said, say the people on the board of the UN thoroughly believe that the planet is going to end or will run out of resources in 50 years. What do you think that they would do? And do you think that they would tell us exactly what their plan is? I don't think so personally, but what is your guys' opinion? I'm going to go over to the chat here in a minute. Thank you guys all for being here. I saw several Ninja Guineas so far. Again, Snowboard, thank you, Priscilla. We no longer have a government. We are owned by big bankers. That's the thing. And people are so concerned about the coming November thing that, you know, whoever you support, that's fine. But again, I honestly am starting to think it doesn't really matter. It says, thank you, Dex and Mods, for everything you do. We're in big trouble. Sorry. And then Proud Grandma, Big Blue Bear, thank you for being here. I haven't seen you in a minute. Thank you for being here in Bogstown. Thanks for gifting subs. And then we've got Sprawling, new hangar facility at Area 51 points to the arrival of the drone swarm. It says the Air Force is accelerating its advanced combat drone development efforts, and the facility's unique attributes seem perfect for supporting them. It says the Air Force's clandestine flight test center deep inside the Nevada Test and Training Range, known as Area 51 or Groom Lake, among more colorful nicknames, continues to grow as it approaches the 7th decade of operations. Constant construction has grown the remote facility dramatically since the turn of the millennium, including the addition of a massive and still mysterious hangar built at the base's remote southern end. It says now an even larger extension to the existing hangar facility is quite peculiar in nature, points to the very real possibility that the age of large swarms of unmanned combat air vehicles has finally arrived. So you're talking about these weird hangar things. You're talking about, geez, that is gigantic. Look at that. They built these two white ones. To give perspective, a little car is that big. So this thing is just ginormous. So this was it being built. It says for around a year, construction has been underway in a prominent section of the southern ramp area at the base, near where the original A-12 Oxcart hangars still stand. A quartet of more modern hangars that are divided into two separate buildings with each bay measuring roughly 90 feet wide. They are understood to be known as hangars 20 through 23 and has been a recipient of highly curious series of modifications. It says the hangars have stood for decades and have thought to largely serve the Air Combat Command tactical aircraft programs, including supporting F-117 testing for many years. It says at first it looked like they were about to be torn down. This didn't end up being the case. Instead, the massive enclosures were built over the aprons that flanked the east and west sides of the original drive-through hangars. So, of course, that's what we're talking about. These guys, and then being built on either side. It says, in addition, the soft structure located just to the southwest of the hangars 2023 has been badly torn for years and was eventually patched, and now has been totally demolished. Interestingly, it appears that the soft structure at Area 51 actually concealed a unique-looking building inside of it before it was torn down. And you can always freeze frame this If you'd like, you can see the crazy, weird stuff that's going on there. And it says the unique additions to Hangars 2023 create a combined hangar facility that is the largest of any on base by a substantial margin, roughly about 400 by 500 feet overall. The additions, more in common with the Scoot and Hide shelter extensions built onto the arm-to-arm hangar located between the ramp and the runway in the mid-2000s, than when they do with the traditional hangar. They appear to be more of a covered area portico-like addition than with anything else, with the existing central hangars still acting as they always did. So that again is that. And it says more views of this new add-on facility and its shed-like nature came from Gabriel Zeffman's photos when he took while circumnavigating the Navida test and range. So this is actually a few months ago when they were everybody got this was going all over the internet, that the fact that you can actually fly close enough to see, and several people they can get clearance enough to kind of see long range. I'm trying to find the part here. It says, what's the justifications behind this conjecture? Well, it solves a number of problems with scaling up testing of large swarms of unmanned combat air vehicles. First off, servicing and then staging the aircraft for a mission requires a lot of space and would benefit more by a production line-like arrangement than a traditional hangar and apron layout. The modifications are fairly ingenious, as the arrangement would allow a large group of drones to park on the outside of the view of satellites and out of the weather on one side, with the hangars in the center as working for a pass-through servicing bay for preparing them for another flight. It says, and then moving them to the other side and await launch them en masse through servicing bays for preparing them for another flight. So I think that, see, this is, they kind of did it how they would do it: recover, service, stage, and launch. The sheer size of these are just absolutely ginormous. Do you think that they are going to have swarms of these things flying around? Dex, what do you think about this as far as the swarms of drones and things that will be flying above us? I know that there's a deadline. They're getting all of the they're getting out of all of the consumer drones out of the sky, essentially, in just a few years here. They're changing laws to make it harder for regular people to go up in drones. At the same time, they are turning every kind of commercial use of a drone only used by big companies. So big companies are going to own the sky.
Yeah, Adam, and it's not just the drones. I mean, certainly we have a theory around, what's going on there, and, what are some of the things that we may not like. But as we continue to evolve just general travel, we've talked about sky taxis. We've talked about other unmanned people movers that are going to be in the sky, right? So you got to, I would think that there's this entire program right now that they're trying to do to figure out how to manage the layers of the sky and basically the traffic that's in the sky, not just what's happening with drones, but what's going to happen with, you've got the big airplanes obviously already using the airspace, but what happens with everything else that evolves in the next 10 years.
Exactly. And then we're talking about, we're going to see an entirely different sky in just a few years. I mean, you're talking about things called Skyborg up in there. So we'll be covering it as it goes on. I do want to read this because this is somebody who I actually do pay attention to here. Hold on. Sorry, I'm flying everywhere. Let's see. Susan Donahue says there are 2 firms actively moving forward with eminent domain scheme. San Francisco-based House Canary, which is funded by the daddy of the YouTube. It says Detroit-based Amrock, Kushner Operation. Jared's bro is the vice president of marketing. And then allegedly, any lawyers in the house. I like how you said that, Susan Donahue. Allegedly, any lawyers in the house. So Again, there are two firms actively moving forward with eminent domain schemes. SF-based House Canary. We actually covered House Canary on a call, right? I want to say we went into that and looked at kind of the people involved, and it was really crazy. Susan Donahue, I will have to look into that. Thank you for the comment, and thank you for the support, of course. Thank you for what you do and trying to wake people up and keep them updated on the things that are going on in the world. Hollywood Gamer Guy, I'm just doing what I can. Jay Walks says Ezekiel 38:39, conflict set to happen. Russia, Turkey, Lib, Iran, and ETH will ask is for natural resources, mainly gas. Russia blackmailing countries with their gas. Countries going to is instead. Peace deals contribute. Jaywalks, great comment. Probably Andrew says Marfoogle. Professor Michio Kaku stated in his books that we will be a class 1 civilization in 100 years. That means weather and earth hacking tech now. As far as the class 1 civilization, you would have full control of the planet. That's pretty crazy if they can do it. And that means that's not a good thing for us necessarily, especially on the lower end of the totem pole. Backwoods Ingenuity says, live free, travel light, work hard. Much love, Foogle fam, Adam Dex mod, and squad. It says, YT reported a problem with the like button. Press yours to test it. I like it. And then we've got Seraphina. What is going on? Thank you for your support. You can always write something there with the odd 1111. Thank you. Probably Andrew, thank you again for your support again. Susan Donahue, so far this is the highlight of my day. Thank you. Hashtag Team Humanity. Well, thank you, Susan. Thank you for being here for nearly 3 years now. RE55, thank you for your support. I hope you're doing well with your creation. And then Jim Butternuts says, I have a feeling this coming winter will be the hardest winter any of us have ever seen. Be prepared. God bless. Yeah, no, I think that you are right, Jim. And I think everybody should be ready for a whole lot of change. All right, let's get into our first call. Let's go over to the phone lines. It looks like we have let's see here. Ralph saw something in the sky. Ralph, you're live on Marfoogle News. And just to let you know, we have your video here. What am I looking at when I copy this link?
Okay, I was videotaping the sky the other day on a webcam, and I noticed something in the sky. It was a bluish color. What I think it is. I put it in the video. There's a couple. I don't want to say the wrong words. If you want to. Maybe after the show, watch the entire video, but maybe put it in easy words, the blue kachina. I think that'd be the best way that I could put it.
So I guess where I would just say say it if you can.
The blue, me and my wife's beeping at him. Blue kachina? The blue kachina that everybody speaks of, old. I think that's what we're looking at, boss.
Okay, now where in this videos do we find that?
If you play the video from 2 minutes to 11, I'll circle it for you because I got it in the video, and you'll be able to see it. It's 2 minutes and 11 seconds in. Oh. It's going to be at the top of the screen. I use an orange circle to circle the object. There you go. If you watch the entire video, it's a 33-minute video that's underneath that video, a couple down. You can watch it, how it comes from the sky, from the horizon, and it comes up. I just took the best clip so that you can see this object reveal itself, guys. She's not being shy anymore.
Okay, I didn't know if the sound was coming from the phone or the video, but it looks like it's coming from the video. So I'm playing this video. I'm not seeing an orange circle.
Let it play. You're not letting it play. Just let it play from 2 minutes and 11, and then it'll reveal itself. It's in the top of the screen, right under the word Mexico. I can see it. I'm looking at it right now on your screen. I can see it. Just let it play from there.
All right, it's playing.
You keep fast forwarding. Why do you keep doing that? You gotta let it play in regular time, boss.
I'm not touching it, boss. That's your video.
I'm sorry.
That's them doing it on the screen.
Then. I'm trying to get it so you can see it. There you go, right there.
Yeah, that's not me touching rewind. That's the screen capture.
I'm sorry. It'll get to the part where it stops doing that. I'm sorry. I should have said it a little later in the video.
Next time, maybe the screenshot of when you actually put that orange circle, so then at the very beginning, we're looking at it the whole time. There it goes.
It's lighting up right now.
Okay, so
I go back a little.
We're looking up here.
Now it lights up again. I go back a little so you can see it's two circles and a big circle. It's two eyes and a huge circle. It kind of looks like a mask, a Kachina mask. There's two eyes, and then there's a circle.
Oh, I see it now.
An orb, a huge orb. Now watch this thing light up. Now think, the sun is setting on the left. This thing is not supposed to be there. This thing is what rises every day when the sun sets. I've been watching it for 11 months, and I never caught it like I did this time. When the sun sets, this thing comes up. And finally, I caught it where you could see it.
You guys
it's
see
amazing, man.
Right up here is where he's talking about.
Now I'm going to circle it. That's one of the eyes.
I never saw this.
Right
okay. You circle it with the red button. I get it.
With the red circle. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you meant you physically put a circle on there.
Now that you see where I circled, watch. There's another object trailing behind it.
I'm watching intently.
On my channel, I have many captures of this thing, but never where I get to see it like this. Oh, it's huge. It is absolutely huge.
Now I think I see two things. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to end up linking this video onto our website so everybody can go and actually watch and replay this and rewind it and see it for themselves. See, now you pointed out something there. I see two orbs over on the left under gallery. Two weird orbs that kind of pop up. Right,
it's full. The sky is full of them. One of my subs said the thing comes up and opens up, and a whole bunch of other things come out of it. I can't believe what we're looking at.
Again, folks, you might have to actually go to the video. I can see it now that I know what I'm looking for, but it's harder to see it when you're watching a replay of the replay. You guys should go directly to it. This is from a Skycam in Mexico. Again, this is on G. Willie's channel. G. Willie, thank you for calling in. Is there one more thing you want to say before you go?
Yeah, if you guys want to know, I know I'm pressed for time, but I have another video that you might want to look at. It's an Anunnaki craft. It's on my channel. It's maybe 7 videos down. I'll let you go, but you'll be very interested in that. I think that's what they might be building them things for, because the thing I showed you right now compares nothing to the Anunnaki craft. But when you see it, you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll be very interested in that video, and I give you full permission to play it. And it's almost as astonishing as the Blue Kachina video. But that one's maybe a year old, so I've been trying to call in for 6 months and I could not get through.
Well, hey, you finally did. And then I pulled up the video thing. What we'll do is we'll end up playing it during the shoutro. So while the shoutro's going, I'll put it on, okay? And then I see what you're talking about.
I appreciate it.
Anunnaki Craft. I see it right there. All right, thank you. Again, that was a call. You can call into 2244-00-MARF. It is a live show. Of course, press option 4 when you do. And then make sure to press the thumbs up if you can. If you found value out of the show, if you see the effort that we put in before every single show to put all of the different articles there for you for your access, please do press that thumbs button. It does help a lot, especially right now. They just changed the algorithm again to where it does take a higher precedent. So please, if you guys can do that, that would help us very much so. Gone Girl 777 says, Foogle fam, love. Thank you so much. Shan 3, and then we've got Johnny Doom, Chrissy 27, Goldie 2001. What is going on? Blue Fire YT. Gone Girl, thank you so much for your awesome support. I hope that you are feeling better. I know that you were pretty stressed out about a week ago. And then we've got Mighty Mouse and PMC 2020, Terabile, Angry Fish, and Melody. D-Live's mom, AK Joker's mom, thank you so much. Says gifted 5 1-month subscriptions to users in the channel. Honestly, thank you so much for your support, and you know it's coming right back to your channel as well. M mentioning Auntie-M. I'm happy for you that you gained all those followers. I guess you just started. I've seen you for a long time. I didn't know that you just started streaming, so that's awesome. Say hi to your son for me. And then Slavmeister, thank you. And then Maui Racing Realtor, Angela 4110, Gem, and Trek Prepper. Thank you guys. Thank all of you for being here. CPW Sandtown says, nice to hear you live. God bless you and yours. We are trying to do at least one a week where we do an early show. Jaywalks Australia again says, conflict set to happen. Again, we'll end up putting that on the scroller tomorrow, Jaywalks. Thank you so much. And then Doc Bill, a Type 3 civilization, also called a galactic civilization, can control energy at the scale of its entire host galaxy. That's, of course, Michio Kaku's kind of breakdown of the different types of society. All right, if you guys want to support us in a different way, I'd highly recommend doing it at the same time as protecting yourself. If you guys do not know about the threat of an EMP, I would highly recommend that you end up going to this website. Go to marfuglenews.com/EMP. Again, this can actually ground the signal of an EMP before it fries your device. It protects against all 3 phases, E1, E2, and E3 of an EMP, and against solar flare protection, and even against lightning. This is the same company that is now recently contracted with the government. They're working with agencies like DHS, DOD, and now officially on the DEMSO team helping protect the Texas grid. So, again, you can't go wrong. Now that they do have those government contracts, they did want to let consumers know they are still going to sell to consumers for the time being. And 2, because of the amount of payload that they just got from the government, that they are probably behind about 2 to 3 days on shipping. So as far as like instead of 1 day shipping, get it out to you tomorrow, it might take 2 to 3 days, in some cases 5, depending on where you are. So not a really big deal. They're really awesome about telling and letting people know when they're backed up. All right, and then this is absolutely nuts. So there are a lot of discussions about this, and that is because the general big viral tweet that this was on is now gone. In fact, the guy might have removed his account. So, Dex, I'm going to pull you in here as well. I'm going to play the short piece of this. This is very creepy, and of course, a lot of people have already...
Oh, my phone!
Bro! Oh, my God!
Hello, friend!
Oh, my God!
I love you!
Jesus Christ!
I love you so much!
Oh my god.
Mind you have an ex-girlfriend?
Oh my phone!
Bro. Oh my god.
Hello, friend.
Oh my god.
I love you.
Jesus Christ.
I love you.
So, again, so this is the clip that kind of started this big viral buzz yesterday, and people actually were stating their mind on this. They were saying, I would straight up take that thing out. In fact, this is an article by Boston Dynamics, which is the company that designed it. It says, shoot on sight. Boston Dynamics robot dog spotted out on city street triggers fear and defensiveness. It says, video of a Boston Dynamics spot robot dog apparently wandering the city street on its own has struck terror into the hearts of social media users. Though some defended the bot, pointing out humans can hurt each other without help, it says a Canadian Twitter user posted the four-legged yellow robot ambling down the sidewalk on Thursday, though it's not clear where it was actually filmed. The person taking the footage, though, initially started opts for a friendly approach, addressing the quadrupled with, "Hello, friend." And it says, look who I saw on the street. Now when you go to this actual tweet, it is gone. In fact, I'll just show you here. Okay, so this is actually saying, oh, it's in my cache. Okay, so this is what shows up now. It's because it's saved on my cache. It even says Nathan moved accounts. It says that look at this, check this out. I am tired of the robot dog tweet. There is too many notifications. LOL. It was fun while it lasted. If you want a link to it, video here is on my Instagram. So, had so many, look at this, 13.8 million views. Absolutely ginormous. 58,000 retweets, 111,000 likes there. So the person actually said that they are basically moving accounts because of it. So some say that he actually was taken down, or they wanted him to take it down, and then the video got all over the place, and they have actually taken down several other people for putting it up. Then some others are saying that there was somebody there. Dex, what do you think about this thing? I mean, as creepy as hell. Some people were saying that if they saw that thing, they would take it out, they would shoot it on sight, and all this kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, I think this is, we've talked about robots. We've shown them. We've looked at robots doing all sorts of crazy things, from backflips to lifting things to even, drones flying stuff around, right? And it's interesting when you talk about it and we worry about it coming. But I think it's a totally different scenario when you're standing outside your house or you're driving down the street, and the first time you have that interaction with a robotic device. We've seen some people have those with like the cleaner floors in the Walmarts, right? But this type of device, when it walks up to you, it's creepy. It's going to freak out. And there's a big societal change we have to go through to actually get to a point where this becomes norm. Now, I'm not saying we want this to become norm, but it's clear that they're building these things, and they are going to, whoever the people are that are putting these into place, are doing it in a way that we're going to have them as part of,
society,
our normal society, right? And we've got to, it's a big shock to people. I mean, I just could not imagine like going out to get my mail and this thing's walking down my sidewalk.
Well, and so I saw a couple comments saying, oh, they would never let that thing walk down the street by itself. It costs $1 million or whatever else. Actually, they very well...
$75,000.
Okay, what was it? 75?
Yep, there's 75,000. I think they've been deployed in China for masks. They've been deployed in a couple of other locations as well.
That's actually
already.
Less than I thought. I would think.
Yeah, they're not that expensive. $75,000 for that is not that much.
Okay, so and the reason why, the technology that it has, not only do they have AI and they're completely programmable and all these things, they can do insane stuff. They can put arms on the back so they can open doors, go into places. They have just a crazy amount of sensors and cameras. In fact, I think 75,000 would be this base model, right? We don't know what this exactly has on it. It guaranteed probably has night vision, multiple cameras to see and kind of surveil its surroundings. But then you have also attachments like the arm. You've all seen the video probably by now of the arm grabbing the doorknob. But also they actually have one that now they have weaponized for the military. It's not yellow like this. It's more of like a military weapon. These things are around on our street. Somebody said, oh no, they would never let that thing, $75,000, walk down the street. Well, this thing's got GPS. It probably has like a black box of sorts. If somebody did take that thing, they would be very stupid. You're talking about, CIA or somebody coming after you, not just, Joe Schmo police officer. You're talking about getting tracked by government agencies instantly by satellite. So nobody's going to steal those things once they're on the street.
And Adam, I would say the next thing we got to be watching for is a new law that comes out, right? When drones first came out, there was a time period where they weren't regulated. You didn't have requirements for flying, but then there also wasn't any requirements or any laws in place that, prevented people from destroying them. Now they have a law that says, it's a major felony if you were to shoot a UAV out of the sky, even if it's a personal one. You're not allowed to do that, right? So when we'll see laws come out that say if you see these autonomous type, robots, whatever you want to call them, that if there's laws that come out that then prevent you from from harming one, that's when we really have to worry.
Well, I mean, we're going to be following it, but you don't really have to follow it. It's going to start following you. You're going to see these on your streets very soon. And if it's not the dogs, it will be the upright bipedal ones. Those are coming out. The price has come down on this. I guarantee 5 years ago this would be $1 million or an experiment or a prototype. Now that they have gotten the price down, a city dropping $75,000 on these is nothing. Think about how much they spend. They'll spend, $0.5 million on a helicopter or this or that to cart somebody around. They'll drop $500,000 or $5 million or $15 million. That's not crazy for a big city budget. $15 million on a bunch of these that roam around the cities and alert authorities if they see a facial recognized person that's on, DOC or something, Department of Corrections, and then boom, these things walk around the ghetto. Somebody kicks it. Oh, all of a sudden it's a crime. They go to jail for a very long time. These will be untouchable. I think Dex is completely right about that. These will be. It's just like if you hurt a bus driver or hurt a doctor or whatever, there's laws in place that if you assault somebody at a hospital, if you assault a bus driver or a taxi driver or something, there's laws that protect them, and it's a felony, instant. It's not like, oh, you just gotten misdemeanor. They'll make it a felony to actually hurt these things. So what do you guys think? When you see this, what are you going to do? Probably nothing, because what are we going to do, right? This is what's going to happen. Okay, and then this is the pre-hand article. It is actually updated now. Of course, T-Man did announce his conservative appointee. It was Barrett. It says President DT is expected to announce Saturday, which this was done yesterday. Our show did not happen. That he is nominating Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court as he aims to put historic conservative stamp on the High Court just weeks before the November 3rd event. It says T-Man said Friday that he had made up his mind and it was very exciting without giving away the name, aiming to maintain some of the suspense around his personal announcement. But the White House indicated to congressional Republicans and outside lawyers that the pick was Barrett. So they knew this is before the pick came out, and of course it was true. It was right. So, both sides knew that this was going to happen, that the pick was going to be, of course, our side, a red side politician to put in there. So we will see what happens with this. Of course, you guys can take your side in there. It says, of course, this was the replacement for Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. What do you guys think? What do you think of the pick? Do you think that there could have been a better pick? Do you think it should have been the other side? Pretty crazy stuff here that's going on, because it is going to make a huge difference. All right, if you guys don't want to be tracked and traced or have robot dogs picking up the smell of your phone, you can actually do something about it. You can go off-grid with the EDEC bags. These bags are actually sold to agencies like FBI. You can they put phones and laptops and things like this in as evidence so people can't remotely wipe them. These are Faraday bags, essentially. No RF signals go in, no go out. You go off-grid once you put your phone in these bags. If you would like to support the channel, again, marfooglenews.com/EDEC. All right, back to the phones. It looks like we have another first-time caller here. Let's see here. I'm sorry. This one is not. Giant Tyrant. Remember, if you want to call in, now would be the time. 2244-00-MARF. Giant Tyrant, you are live on Marfoogle News.
Hey, Adam, how you doing?
Good. So you've got 3 videos of the sky.
Right. Yeah, I got the first one I wanted to show. The third one I could save for if we don't have time, but the first 2 are like slideshow clips of pictures I took at night. And they're on my YouTube page. I gave Dex the link.
Okay, so I've got the video. It looks like the moon or the sun.
Go with the one that says weird stuff in the night sky or the sphere checkered pattern checkerboard. One of those 2.
Okay, well, first one I got is full. We can look at all 3 of them. Full moon coming through the clouds and illuminating.
Show the moon one. I was gonna show the moon one last if we didn't have time.
Oh, no worries. So I'll pull up the checkered one. Let's see here.
All right.
To me, they just all look like YouTube links, so I don't have a way to figure out which one's which. Here we go. All right,
okay.
So this one is.
I'm not watching it on the TV right now, so I don't know really what you're.
Okay,
you're looking at.
We're looking at sphere checkerboard and other strange things in the night sky.
Okay, the first like minute or so of that video, if you just watch it, you can speed it up or whatever too. But that's just little clips of pictures at night because you can't catch it. It's hard to catch the clouds on video at night. It's too dark, but. I can change the ISO and let a lot of light in and take good pictures at night. But if you watch like the first minute of that video, there's some weird checkerboard patterns in those clouds.
So I know exactly what you're talking about. I haven't seen it on the video yet, but I've seen this, and it's like they're perfect squares in the clouds, and there's no way naturally that would happen.
Yeah, and they're like perfectly staggered checkerboards, like in the exact spot where they should be. They're not off a little bit. It's really weird.
I agree. We're actually going through it right now. You're starting to see the checkerboard kind of pattern come out. You should get yourself a used cheapo DSLR and just get a wide aperture lens.
Oh, it's incredible. Some of the stuff that you can see, it's right there that you can't make out quite with your eye at night. But I catch this every night, and it's not the same thing every night, but just some of the weirdest things happen at night.
Last night's moon actually looked like this. Was this yesterday, or is this just over time?
No, this is like a month ago, maybe. I've been trying to call in for a little bit and show this, but I think it's been maybe a month now.
Okay, well, while this plays, I'm going to actually pull up that second link that you have here. It's going to be playing through that. Let's see. Let me see if I can zoom in here so people can at least watch that while I'm loading the other one. See, look at that pattern. You can't see it, but there's this one where there's like a circle there. And the clouds just stop. What causes that? You know, you could say like a plane went through that and caused that line. Look at that. Looks like there's a craft there. Just to go back one. This is the kind of thing I see all the time. In fact, this is what I wanted to pause on. Hold on. See that? You see that line? It's like perfect. It's almost too round. I see that kind of thing all the time, and I'm like, what causes that? These are all different clouds, and then you've got this perfect line cutting through it. You would think maybe a plane, and then look, just so happened, that's probably a star, but...
And I was out, I was sitting there for several hours just taking picture after picture, and that's what it is. It's like, instead of a video, I have a sequence of pictures, like every 10 or 20 seconds, I'll take another picture, and you can see the movement of these things and how they're moving around, almost in like a time lapse of film put together. And there was no plane flying overhead at all. The whole night I was out there taking pictures. That was at like 2:00 in the morning, and there was definitely not one plane went over my head. It was kind of strange that there was that much. There's texture to it, and shading and dimension, and it seems like there's a structural object, and they're blocking the moon at one point. And the second video is actually from the same night. I just had to put them in two different videos because I had so many pictures of it. But that second one has a few like really good. There's a pyramid, looks like a 3-dimensional pyramid, not just a triangle, but it has depth and dimension to it. And there's a couple other things on that other video.
Fortunately, a lot of the people that listen to us at work, they don't watch, they actually listen. What we're looking at is sets of clouds, and there's some really crazy shapes at night, and I'm sure you guys have seen it too. If you ever look up at night during some of these moonlit nights, they're just the weirdest sets of clouds. Now they're coming up with new kinds of clouds. In fact, we've talked about this before. They're making names up for clouds because there's so many weird new clouds. Well, we of course can link these videos.
Have you got that second?
Yes, the second one's up.
Sorry.
Is there a time?
I've got a couple of timestamps on that. Go to like 1 minute and 50 seconds on on that video on the second one.
Okay, we're here.
And that's like, watch that for like 20 or 30 seconds, and that's like a pyramid. Just look at it for yourself. I don't even want to explain it. It's weird. It's like a 3-dimensional pyramid. There's shading into it, and it's right, like almost right in front of the moon.
See, this is another video which I think that people will really have to go in and look at on their own, because as high as I can go is 720 on my screen, and then it ends up transferring over. But I see it. I see what you're talking about. This is really spooky.
Oh, go to... Yeah.
What was the other timestamp?
Go to... let me see if it's still there after that. That whole set of pictures with that one object in front of the moon is really strange. But then the other one would be, I think, 10 minutes and 20 seconds. Or 10... maybe that's not it.
Here we go. Now we're at... Again, Giant Tyrant, I think people are going to have to go over this themselves. But I am playing that clip there. It's just not going to come through.
Oh, here it is. I found it. I found the one that I wanted you to show. It's at 11 minutes, or I'm sorry, 12 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay, let me see here. I'm interested in seeing it too.
Yeah, it's really wild. The texture and the straight edges on this object, and it's obviously something is right there, but I'm not saying I know what it is, but it's not normal.
It could also be some sort of radar affecting it. Look at that.
Yeah, some people say it's HARP, some people say it's planets, some people say it's a sun or moon simulator. Can you see what I was saying? It's almost like a pyramid with a chopped off top on it. It's like a 4-sided pyramid, maybe.
Yep. Again, when you look at clouds, you can find whatever shape you want. But as far as this goes, there's very, I guess, not obtuse, very sharp angles. Again, though, it's not going to transfer over to the people watching at home. So people, you need to go over and see this because, again, I'm watching on a 4K screen. It doesn't transfer over to when I'm showing it on my show, though. So you guys got to check this out. There's even an object below it that I can see. Giant Tyrant, is there one more thing you want to say before you go?
If you wanted to show that moon video when you get a chance anytime during the show, it's fine. Or not. It's just a really good video of the lighting around the moon. I wasn't really focusing on the moon. I was trying to show that the moon appears to be illuminating the sky behind it on that video, and you can see it just sitting right there in the cloud, and there's light all inside the clouds that it's sitting in, and it's lighting up the sky behind it. But I wanted to show that too, but
what I can do is with the shoutro, I'll end up putting on that video and the other video from the last caller, and we'll just play that during that and take out two birds with one stone. All right. Well, thank you, Giant Tyrant.
Yeah. Cool.
Have a great night. Be safe. Be prepared.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Adam.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
And his channel link and the video links will be on our website, marfooglenews.com, if you want to go over there and check them out for yourself. Again, it just doesn't transfer over. That's the one problem. So if you do have videos and stuff that's dark, just remember, if you call in, a lot of people end up going to our website and looking at it, but it might not transfer over, and it might not show the same way when I am streaming it from us watching it and then putting it back out to you. But I thought there was some pretty cool stuff there. See, I look at both sides of things. I could hear somebody in my head saying, if this was my video, right? Because I sit out there all the time and I look at this stuff and I'm like, there's no explanation. Just like Giant Tyrant said, you can't really describe it. But when you're out there, somebody would say, "Oh, well, it's a cloud." You could see, Obama's face in it if you want it. That's your mind telling you it's the face of whatever. But what he is talking about, what I'm talking about, is the weird pulse patterns. It doesn't look natural at all. It looks like something's going through it. It looks like radio waves if you could visualize it. Like something is going through it and cutting the air or changing the molecular structure of our air. That sounds crazy, but I don't think it's too crazy. I think it's actually more realistic than some of the stuff they've come up with. There's new types of clouds now. After the entire world and after, the modern science, all this stuff, we're creating new clouds now. I don't know. It just seems weird to me. What do you guys think? Australian Patriot, hey, what's going on, man? Glad to have you here. Johnny David, the Truth Warrior, is here tonight. Corloa Hood, April Saffel, what is going on? I hope you and your husband are doing well. Johnny Doom, I see you as well. We've got Dope Heathen, Mike Raleigh. I hope, I don't know if you're here. I'm sure you are. Baldy Luck Awake and Jen Lay Awake. I hope you guys are doing well if you're watching the replay. Carolyn Lowe, one of my favorite Foogles, is here. Menacing Muskrat, thank you so much for being here. And then, let's see here. Skynet, thank you so much for your support. And then somebody over on D-Live said, Skynet lives, beware. That's funny. Weird. Gone Girl 777. Oh no, RoboDog says Gone Girl 777. Machina Opus Fire Schmitz says, new listener, thanks Adam, Dex, and mods the show. Fire Schmitz, welcome to the Foogle fam. This is what it is. Dave 808. Adam, did you see the Rings drone home security? Dave 808, we actually covered that yesterday, or 2 days ago. We were on top of that one. Very creepy. We asked what you guys would do. Would you have a Ring flying drone in your house? It is the coolest idea ever, to be honest. If it wasn't connected to the internet, I think it would be cool. Like if it was connected through SIM card to just like your house, think about it. You could be out at dinner and say you have a babysitter watching your kids and you've got 3 kids in 3 different rooms sleeping. You could take the drone, fly into each room. You manually control it from anywhere in the world. Control it and go in and check on them. Or go out and check on your dog or whatever. That's what this thing is. It's a drone you can manually control and have check your house out. I think it's super cool, but people can hack it and they're using that information. They want to get cameras in our house. Hopefully those robots don't have EMP shield. Says Dave 808. I'm guessing you're from Hawaii. Oh yeah, Dave 808 is from Hawaii. Angela 4110. I bet they have some sort of protection for that. Heaven's Calling, Michelle Over, Dixie Doe. I know why though too. You want to take those out, right? And then Sammy Lee, much love everyone. God bless you all. Nell 25, James 42, and Purple 186. Thank you guys for all being here tonight. All right, getting back into Oregon governor incredibly worried about violence at the Proud rally. It says Oregon Governor Kate Brown on Friday declared a state of emergency in Portland over the weekend due to risks of violence. It says leaders of the self-described Western chauvinist called Saturdays to end domestic terrorism after 4 months of nearly daily demonstrations. Now, Dex, this already happened. What do you think? Basically, how did it end up?
I think what's interesting is the level of alertness that they were on. I mean, we've seen what's been going on in Portland for many months now, but then to see the an organized event and then what happened with the governor and all of the news agencies amplify the concern over this. So that was kind of enlightening, I guess, as we think about what's being programmed and programmed to everyone, no matter what side you're on, but what's coming from the mainstream. I think that's what's important, the optics here, as others like to say.
As far as the level too, I wonder if they'll start having stuff like the robo-dogs and things like that. And, just in the next few months, I wonder if we'll actually see the introduction of some of the technology that we've seen that is being made. I wonder if we will actually see that, and that will be the excuse to bring those out. One thing that I thought about doing, and this was an honest experiment, is going around wearing a 3-letter word on a mask, probably a black mask with a 3-letter word, and then also the next day go a whole day and see if anybody confronts me about it. Go a whole day wearing or actually I guess it could go either way. Do 3 days of masks. One saying the 3-letter group. 4 days. One saying, PRUD. I wouldn't do that. One day do a T-Man mask, like a red mask with T-Man or whatever. And then one day do a blue mask with Biden. I actually wonder, would you guys think that would be a crazy video to do? Like, who do you think would react the worst?
It would be crazy where you live, yes, and doing that. I think, given your location and the demographics of your state as far as political standings, I think you'll get a lot of pushback on one of those.
Well, and that's the thing. I think that if I wore just a straight up blue mask with Biden here in Seattle, I don't think anyone would say a single word. But if I did wear T-Man, if I go to the grocery store once, I'm going to have people saying swear words. And I'm not just saying that. I've actually seen it. I've seen people, but basically it was for the hat, right? The red hat. And I've actually seen that. But I think it would be different if I was in a different place, though. I think it would probably be the same. I guess it depends on location. If I was down in Deep South and I was wearing the blue mask, I bet somebody would say about it too. So I guess there's no really good way to do that experiment. But
it really depends on where you are. I can tell you because I've worn one of those masks and I've seen no reaction, and I've seen positive reaction on one you might think would be negative, and it really just depends on who you're around and where it is. I've done it in Florida and I've done it in Georgia.
I wonder, what is Florida? What color is Florida? Is that a red or blue state?
That's it's usually red.
Yeah. So, and then what about Georgia?
It used to be red. It's purple now, but it's probably going to be red.
Purple.
We'll see. The state is red. The city of Atlanta is blue.
I get you. Well, I mean, do you guys think kind of like? Do you remember when Mark Dice used to do his videos where he would go out on the street and things? I thought of him when I thought about that. Like if he wore two different masks out and saw the reaction and chaos ensues.
I just like to see if you could survive walking through, I don't know, Costco or any one of those stores you have out there with one of those more provocative masks.
I don't know. I guess we'll see. And then this is nuts. This is covering a whole lot of different stuff. Real life inception as scientists figure out how to plant ideas in dreams. It says it may sound like the plot of Inception, but scientists have figured out how to plant ideas into other people's dreams. Researchers at MIT Media Lab's Fluid Interfaces have been testing a new technique called targeted dream incubation, or TDI, which allows them to insert certain topics into someone's dreams. Past studies have shown that when sleepers enter a rare dream state known as lucid dreaming, they gain awareness that they're dreaming and can thus have some control over what happens in their mind. TDI achieves a similar result by targeting people during hypnagogia, a semi-lucid dream state that occurs as someone is falling asleep. And it says, at this moment, scientists introduced targeted information to the subjects of the study, the results of which were published in the August issue of Journal Consciousness and Cognition. The study involved 25 participants taking daytime naps. Before going to bed, they would record audio prompts in an app, such as remember to think of a tree, remember to observe your thoughts. They wore hand-mounted Dormio sleep trackers to monitor their heart rate and detect when they have entered hypnagogia, at which point they were most open to influence from outside audio cues. It says the tracker would then coordinate the app to wake the participants up with their own pre-recorded vocal prompts. This was repeated several times, with the sleeper recording a brief journal entry into the app each time they were woken up. Simply put, people tell us whether the prompts appear in their dream. It says often they are transformed, a tree prompt because a tree-shaped car, but direct incorporation is easily identified. They found that 67% of the participants mentioned dreaming about trees following the prompt. That is crazy. I'm sure they'll fit that into Neuralink or something like that. Pretty crazy stuff. Speaking of dreams, again, I was just thinking about Jacob Israel again. Anytime we talk about dreams, I think about him. Make sure to go check him out. He's a great channel. Okay, and then getting back over here, Conspiracy Realist Mom, thank you for your support. I appreciate that. 33 minutes ago. Tower Bear says, I have seen a small flash, so I think it took a picture, says Tower Bear. Thank you again for your support over there on YouTube. Yvette, thank you for following. As always, if you subscribe during a live show, you will get a shout out. And then Christian Moore says, from Jorge Garcia, I appreciate what you do. Thank you. A very big shout out to LATSE, Local 865 Texas. Miss y'all. God bless the Foogle fam. And then we've got Kelly2334. Thank you for your support as well. 25 minutes ago. Jennifer Jackson says, a lot of military aircraft left MRT, LBCH cargo jet, heliplane back to back all week long. One day there was hardly passenger craft, just military. Got vids. Okay, cool, Jennifer Jackson. If you can send them to us on Twitter, that would be great. That was 25 minutes ago. And then Tim Stanzel, thank you for following, as always. Make sure to subscribe to our other channel, Marfoogle News, as well. And then you've got James Skywalker, FPV, says, I'm in Anderson, California. Huge fire, just started 60 miles per hour winds close to home. Please pray. Again, that he's reporting Anderson, California just had a new fire. And then we've got somebody named Come On Man. Just super chatted $5 and didn't say anything. That's awesome. Thank you. I think I know where the Come On Man comes from, but that's great. Liz Lamarche says, heads up, just got back from the store today and no TP. Second wave beginning. Don't do it, Adam. People can be cruel. Don't do it, Adam. People can be cruel. That's Liz Lamarche. That's, you know what else is I noticed is going out is cleaning supplies as well. All of a sudden, like again, out of nowhere. So maybe somebody got the tip. Maybe somebody got tipped out. All right.
That's funny because I went into the store and I noticed that there was like so much Clorox I didn't know what to do. I'd never seen it before because, you know, it was always scarce. And now all of a sudden the shelves are just full of Clorox.
Well, maybe it's because here in Seattle, we've got all the elites. So maybe they know something we don't. What was that?
No, I was just saying it was odd. I mean, just it's all of a sudden it was there.
Well, that's the thing. Now you can find sanitizer here, at least. You can find sanitizer everywhere. But other stuff. Somebody said that it may be because of the companies have changed what they're producing. So, like, if they're instead of mass producing Drano, they'll mass produce, hand sanitizers. And what's even crazier, if you go into gas stations, you'll see gas stations have hand sanitizer in oil bottles, like car oil. So they're actually like switching manufacturing stuff and using bottles for other stuff for sanitizer. I know some of you have seen it, but you didn't even know it. They've been using all sorts of weird bottles. The second that happened, they made thousands and millions of bottles of hand sanitizer and switched their production. And now you've got so much hand sanitizer. It's just like everywhere. And a lot of people don't even use it as much as they did in the beginning. In the beginning, everybody was sanitizing. How many of you guys really haven't been sanitizing like you were in the beginning? Like you were sanitizing everything, touching everything with gloves, doing all this. For a second there, a lot of people were doing that. Now I don't see that. I only see maybe one person a week with gloves, which in the beginning, I saw a lot of people with gloves and full-on mask, even the blocker, everything. And then
do you have the gloves in the car thing still going on?
Like gloves in the car?
Yeah, like they're driving with rubber gloves on their hands in the car.
I have not seen that yet. I've seen a lot of people with masks on, while they're driving, but I have not seen that. The one that gets me is I see them at the gas station. I use a glove at the gas pump. I don't know. I just always have because it's dirty. But then I see people with the rubber gloves using the gas pump, and then they get in the car and they drive away and they're still got their gloves on, and it's all over their steering wheel. And I don't know. Just kind of silly, I think. If you're going to do it right. Yeah, no, I get you. Pretty crazy stuff. Okay, and then Jennifer Jackson says, sent quite a few on Twitter. Okay, we'll make sure to look at that. Again, I think you also said, why doesn't he ever read my super chats? Just so you know, I do probably 3 to 4 readings of the super chats, and they happen in between sections of the news. So we never miss a super chat, or at least I don't believe we have. If we do, it's very rare because it is on a list for us. So anyways, just to let you know, sometimes it has to be in between so people aren't just listening to those and it doesn't interrupt the broadcast. What we can do is we can try to show your video tomorrow, or while I'm doing the Shoucher, I've got a couple of videos that I have to play. Might be able to put them on if I have your permission. And then Gone Girl says, no sanitizing here, just normal for me, no mask. Kitten update for and Mrs. Marf and Baby, says Channel Jammer 1. Kitten update, I will be able to give you before the end of the show. It's going to be pretty cute. The kitten and the cat are right next to me, like right out of camera. And the mama actually feels better when I'm around. It's pretty funny. When I leave, she gets really anxious. And when I'm here, she just chills and feeds the kitten. And she only had one kitten, which we ended up taking her to the vet to find out that she only had one kitten. Called the vet. They were like, only one kitten? Bring her in. That's weird. You know, she could die. And got there and they're like, no, that's normal. Ended up going to an emergency vet for basically for nothing. But at least we know our kitty was safe. She only had one kitten, and it's black with white paws and 6 toes. Just like the mom. So cool. All right, and then we have, after cancer, she started driving Uber, using tips to make sandwiches for the homeless. Now a 24-year-old writer is her BFF. It says not only does Carrie Wiles hold down a full-time job as a scientist, on weekends she works as a rideshare driver who uses her fares and tips to make meals for Tennessee homeless community. It says Carrie began her side gig with Lyft and Uber after being diagnosed with breast cancer in 2018. She loves people and thought the job could be a great way to know the stories of others. Along the way, she began using her rideshare earnings to make lunches for the city's large and growing homeless population. And as she drives people around the city on Saturdays and Sundays, she's able to drop off homemade PB&Js to around 100 homeless people. It says these days this is no one-woman sandwich delivery operation. It says early in her side gig as a driver, Carrie, who works Mondays to Friday as a scientist at the Cooperative Human Tissue Network, and it says gave a lift to a 24-year-old local named Ryan Caldwell. Without sounding too quirky, he is just an amazing aura, Carrie tells GNN. When you meet him, his kindness and charisma immediately puts you at ease. And when he said he wanted to help deliver lunches with me, I knew he was sincere. Caldwell felt the same way. She's been my best friend since we started, says them. And then it says, now the friendly pair go out delivering turkey rolls together. If anyone out there needs a young man to be a role model, he is it, says Carrie. The world definitely needs more Ryans. The two-person team are currently putting together a list of shoe sizes for the local homeless community so they can get them boots for winter. To learn more about the initiatives the kind pair have taken on, head to Nashville Homeless Helpers. And then again, you can actually go and through Nashville Homeless Helpers, you can help out the cause if you would like. They're actually really, really amazing people. That's awesome. That one didn't choke me up, Dex, but I think that's amazing. That's that's what I do as far as.
I thought it was a good story. It really was.
Yeah. So, yeah, I totally relate to that as far as, yeah. All right. Okay. So let's get into the next caller. Alrighty, tidy lefty Lucy. Gone girl Bobby D. Thank you. Mercer one. Baldy locks awake. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, you're going to have to bring in the next caller. I was trying to access it. Oh, here we go. We've got Righteous Broomstick. What a great name. Righteous Broomstick, you're live on Marfoogle News. And it looks like it says that she has a slight delay on her phone.
Hello, Adam.
Hello, Righteous Broomstick. What's going on?
Hello, Adam.
I'll just let you talk. If there is
I just wanted to say regarding that last story. Hello?
Go ahead. I'm going to let you talk. There's a delay.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we're all here, ma'am.
Are you there?
We're all here, ma'am.
Please say you're there.
We're here, ma'am.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Ma'am,
the phone died just at that moment. I picked up the thing.
Ma'am,
okay,
I'm going to
anyway.
talk. I'm going to talk. I'm just going to tell you. I'm going to let you explain what's going on. I'm not going to talk anymore because when there's a delay, it just gets stupid. So I'm going to let you talk, and I'm going to be quiet, and you don't have to check if we're listening. We're all right here. You can explain the two websites, and I'll just go with what you are saying, okay? I'm going to stop talking, and I'm done. Everybody's listening.
Okay. Okay, on a bit of hope for the Foogle fam, I have been seeking and searching and whatnot, and I ran across a website called libertynetwork.ca. Originally, it was Liberty Network on Facebook, but she's getting kicked off there. But anyway, she's the most dynamic woman, and she's all about freedom, and she's from, I think, British Columbia in Canada. So they started a Facebook social type network of their own. And in 24 hours, they have proved their concept. So now they're going to look for moving it forward to get away from their third-party server, which is very cool. And I got on there this morning, and the people are so nice, and everybody's sharing. So that's an excellent place to go until you get your site up and running. And I'm all for unity so that maybe you guys can work together, because they're the most dynamic couple, Odessa and Norbert Orwitz, I think, is how you say it. But anyway, it's excellent, and you can really become charged up and feel empowered that it's not all doom and gloom. The second thing I wanted to bring up was on Caravan to Midnight last night. He had an interview that starts around marker 142 with emphasis on marker 216, where he gets the real plug-in. This man, I think his name was Christopher James. He started a website in Canada, but it's for the whole world, based on the financial economic fraud that has become upon us all since the day we were born, which was what I was trying to get at when I called the first time regarding my problems with being foreclosed on by false and fake and all that other stuff, and all my rabbit holes I went down. But everything this man says is true. He just needs supporters on his website. He has a wealth of information, and the only way we can do this together is they want to turn us into a global community. Well, then I guess we have to start fighting it globally. And why should everyone who has a great idea, and I can name a bunch of other websites, but I'll spare you that, but why should everyone be doing it alone when if you just join forces because you're all thinking the same, it would blossom into, well, our wildest expectations. And I believe that because I've been searching and searching and searching. One other thing I want to say is anybody feeling down and looking for none of this makes sense, there's a really, really, really good Bible study documentary type channel on YouTube called AOC Network. It stands for Ambassadors of Christ Network, and they have the best studies going back and forth and proving prophecies back and forth, and I found it most comforting. So I'll let you go, Adam.
All right, well, thank you again. Mods, you can mute Mighty if you would like. Thank you so much. I appreciate your call, and as always, make sure you guys, when you go to a website like that, of course, it is a suggestion. It's not a ask. I don't know about it. I will definitely check it out, ma'am, and thank you for the suggestion. Just make sure that you guys know that anything like that, you got to be careful.
Can I say one more thing?
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that while I was waiting after I read all the forbidden words, I private messaged Norbert at the site and told him I was giving him a plug tonight live on your channel. So hopefully he'll do the same to you as you do to him, because that's what we're all about, isn't it? Together, right?
Absolutely. All right, well, thank you so much. You have a great night. Be safe.
And thank you so much for all your hard work.
Oh, well, thank you so much, ma'am.
You too. Bye-bye.
You have a great day. One thing to keep in mind is a couple of people, so doesn't matter what people are saying on the phone. People can have completely wild views. This wasn't a wild call or anything, but in general, if somebody says that they are from planet Zeeblebox and that they have 5 eyes, we are considerate to their call. Because just say we treat others as we would like to be treated here. So imagine if you were calling. Maybe you just have a regular view like, well, I like grapes and I like tacos. Well, somebody might say, oh, this guy is a jackass. He likes grapes and tacos. What an idiot. It doesn't feel too good. And then you have to go back and chat with that same person. Most of these people actually are in chat as well. And it's like, why would you say F you and then get stuck at a stoplight with them? Just kind of lame. When we could all be positive and say, okay, you believe that, you believe that. This is not just a show. This is it is a suggestion, and what we've done for 3 years is we've kept it positive. We've never insulted any other creator. We've never insulted any other caller, any other person. We try really hard not to. Again, in fact, for the first time in 2 years, I almost broke that rule to call somebody out on their BS because they were basically involving me in stuff I shouldn't be involved in. And again, if I do end up calling somebody out, you guys know it will be 100% like Adam never does that. And if he does do that, people will listen. So again, be positive, push each other up. There's no reason to be negative about the callers. Also, though, when people are first coming in and they're new to the channel and they don't know that, they might make the mistake, whatever else. Just know if you do get muted or something like that, that it's nothing personal and you can come right back in. We just got to do it to set a precedent, because what we have grown is this huge chat. Is this 4,000 people live every time on each platform, or sometimes 15,000 people live in the chat. And it's all positive. That's something you can't find anywhere else. And to get that, we have to sacrifice kind of, putting out negative opinions of people. I get it. You can put in an opinion, say this doesn't make much sense, but saying get this person off the phone or something like that, that is something we don't accept here. So I have to make an announcement once a week or so and tell people, hey, that's not okay. With that being said, let's get back into the positivity mood. We got one more caller here, right behind Righteous Broomstick. Let me give you one more example, and this one really bothered me. A gentleman with he had a stroke, I believe, or a seizure, stroke, and for the rest of his life, he talks a little bit funny. People said he was drunk, and people repeatedly said he was drunk. This gentleman legitimately has a speech impediment because of a stroke, and nobody knew that. And everybody says, you're drunk, this guy's a drunk idiot because of the way he talked. Imagine how hurt that man was when he saw, and everybody watches their own calls back. He went back and saw all of those comments. I mean, it's just so unnecessary and so disgusting. Imagine if it was your brother, and your brother, your little brother, your little sister, who you love, your entire life, and they might be a little bit different, and then people make fun of them because of the way they sound or the way they this. Just assume that they might have some issue or something. It was just, they can't help it. So that's another reason too. You don't know what people's situations are. They might, the one thing that I see is always they're on drugs or they're drunk or this or that. You don't know that. So don't make an assumption. It makes an ass out of you and me. All right. Mr. White. We have Mr. White, but spelled W-H-Y-T-E. China has the world's largest navy, and it's getting better, Pentagon warns. Mr. White, you are live on Marfoogle News, calling from Massachusetts. Is that true?
Hey, Adam, how's it going?
They now have the world's largest navy? Okay,
it's 100%, and it's getting better, and that's only what we know of, and they're not stopping building. They're going to continue doing what they're doing.
Okay, this is
You there?
Do you? I mean, have you watched my show? You know that we've kind of talked about this.
Oh yeah, so I'm a long time listener.
How they were going to catch up. Are you kidding?
Oh yeah, no, they caught up and they're going to surpass us. And again, that's only what we know of.
Okay, we're going to war, folks. I don't know how else to put it. Look at this. I thought they were going to catch up next year. Apparently, they just did.
See, and how do you think we won World War II? The Germans had far better everything, but we could mass produce our Shermans. Yeah, they would take out 5 of our tanks, but we would eventually take them out by sheer numbers. And they're extremely industrialized. There's nothing stopping them from taking everything that's making a car or such and such to making bang bangs or something that flies or something that goes in the water and making it in mass.
This is incredible. So do you guys realize, like, we have been covering this, and I told you, I said they are mass producing and they're going to catch up to us. And now people laughed at it. They said they'll never have a bigger Navy than us. I saw comment after comment. No, they'll never have a bigger Navy. We're always going to be ahead of them. They now have the world's largest Navy, and they're doing it so fast. And I called it last year. I called it before anybody talked about it. I said that they were using these covered areas, just like our Area 51 thing, to mass produce ships. And then the news came out, and we got pictures, leaked pictures of mass produced carriers and everything being built out of nowhere. If people aren't awake now, I don't know what to say. You hit the nail on the head here.
I mean, it's coming, and people got to realize it. I mean, I was living in Massachusetts. I just moved down to Florida. I don't even remember the last time I wore a mask where I live. I don't even think I have one in my truck right now. I'm sitting in my truck at the dollar store, and I don't even have a mask in my car. And that's solely because I listen to Marfoogle News and other sources.
Oh, well, don't blame me for not wearing a mask, because that gets me in trouble.
Well, no. That's my personal choice. But where we're at, we don't get you won't be scrutinized or looked at weird or frowned down upon for not wearing your mask.
Yeah,
pretty much nobody does. It's a really, really isolated area.
I'm surprised. In fact, where I guess it's because of my experience here, it's just so opposite. I mean, for 2 minutes, somebody will call you out in an aisle. I mean, even if you lower it to wipe your face, people call people out here. It's insane. It's the complete opposite.
No, yeah, I mean, Massachusetts was the same way, and I wasn't saying I don't wear my mask as a Fugel fan. I'm saying that I moved from where I was at in Massachusetts to an extremely isolated area out in the middle of nowhere. Because regardless of what happens, if it's a WW3 or if it's incoming, some things falling from the skies, so I called in last time, Royal Comet Atlas. And regardless of what it is, we're going to have to deal with people first.
You're absolutely right. Well, you're kind of lucky that you're out there, away from most. Well, again, and you're in the middle of the country, I guess, or where my
Florida.
Yeah, so you're not. You're actually what do you call it? My middle school geography failed me there. Well, is there one more thing that you would like to say on top of that? Again, great. When did this article come out, by the way? Is this fresh?
A couple weeks ago, I believe 2 weeks ago.
Huh. I am surprised we didn't catch that.
But no, one last thing I do want to leave on is that I had this dream a couple weeks ago, and I woke up laughing. The only thing the last part of the dream that I remember, I don't remember the whole thing, but I remember being in a full-out firefight, bang, bang, with a bunch of other people. But I look to my left, and I see a police officer to my right, a blue person, a red person, a black person, a white person, but they were all fighting together. And it made me laugh because when I woke up, because all these people are fighting each other right now, and it's only a matter of time before something bad enough happens that we all have to come together or fall apart.
Well, as the Reagan speech that everybody quotes for aliens, what if all of us teamed up because there was a far greater force that we had to face? It's pretty amazing. If we honestly had something that was against all of us, it would be so awesome that we would all unite. It's kind of that feeling. The planet hasn't been attacked, but it's almost like a lot of the viewers aren't in the United States. I understand that. But it was the feeling in the United States after 9/11, September. After that, a lot of people were united. Do you remember how people were like, hello, hi? Everybody was saying hello to each other. It was amazing. And they didn't like that. So they ended up starting, I don't know if you remember this, but it was so united. Everybody was so nice to each other. Everybody had the flags out. Everybody was so united. And then the news and media pumped it down our throat that, now it's people of all sorts of colors are being judged because they say that they're T or ists, and that took away that. Like, I swear I saw it. It was all united, and then, it was racists that were attacking these people, and I'm sure that was happening, but all of a sudden it was like all people were ununited. It was crazy. I watched as it happened over like a month, and it was all of a sudden from like 6 months of united, like everybody saying hi, and it was such a weird feeling. If you were old enough to remember how it was after that, it was unbelievable. You can't explain it.
No, I mean, that's when I joined the military at that point, because I was, like, after that happened, I joined. I mean, because we're all together. It was all like we're all together against one thing. But then the powers that be all put us at each other, because if we're all fighting each other, we don't know where to look.
Absolutely. Well, hey, thank you so much for calling in. Again, that was Mr. White. Well, thank you so much. And you have a great night. Be safe, be prepared, and Marf out. We'll link that article on our website, marfooglenews.com. Again, Gone Girl, it's weird enough as it is. Eek aliens. Ugh. Yeah, 2020 will bring that. Running with Scissors, your kitties are polydactyl, six-toed cats. That's right. And it's the mama and the kitten. Just them. I'll be updating you here on that in just a second. Thanks for everything, Marf and Dex. Tune in every show, mostly the replay. Keep up the great work. Only news outlet I trust. Running with Scissors, again, thank you. Christian Moore, never once watched too much I Am Clean, but minimal water at our cabin. Nobody's sick. Maybe stupid sickness doesn't stick to dust. Love to all. And then Jennifer Jackson, I will check the Twitter. And then let's see, Vault 111, always wear a mask, never let your guard down. Crazy Cajun. Again, I think that what I really like is that, like Stormy, I think it was, or somebody was saying, I always wear a mask, but if somebody else isn't, I know the science of it, and if they want to do their own thing, as long as they're not getting close to me, that's their prerogative. I'll leave it at that. I think I personally think that's a better view when you know the science that, I think masks should be sealed. Otherwise, I think they need to have a talk. If there is something worse coming, say if there was a really bad, like Ebola type virus, what are they doing with these things? Any nurse knows that they get regular fittings where it has to be completely sealed. In fact, remember in the beginning when they showed if you have a beard or any kind of facial hair, even certain different beards didn't work with a regular mask? Same thing with these things. If you can smell through it, you can get stuff. The box of the actual mask says it does not protect against this. They even say it most likely doesn't, but it helps all of these things, right? So again, I think if they are going to do it, then maybe they should look at sealed masks all the way around, sealed around your face, everything else, like nurses have them, right? That's what it should be if it's going to actually stop the thing, right? But it's not, so I just don't understand. If you want to know about that, we'll end up posting some stuff about that. Again, if something worse comes down the line too, right? like we get some sort of pandemic of a flesh-eating virus that's airborne, right? You would want a sealed mask. You would want seal eyes, everything. It's just kind of weird. One thing too is like, you know, shows like Trevor Noah on this daily social distancing show. Why hasn't he gone back to his stage? One, he doesn't normally even have guests. Very rarely, or I mean, I guess he has got one guest a day, but they could sit 6 feet apart. But two, most of the show he's by himself on a stage. Instead, he's at his home and he doesn't shave or anything, and he doesn't get a haircut. And I'm like, people have been able to get haircuts for like 4 months. Ask yourself, why do they still do it webcam style if you've got football going on? People, you know, football players not wearing masks, sitting right next to each other. Why wouldn't he be able to do a show and stand 8 feet apart? You can shoot a set, you can shoot a whole TV show and stay 6 feet apart. You can't play football and stay 6 feet apart. In fact, you're hugging each other. You're grabbing each other. And you're breathing hard. So it makes you wonder, why do they keep shows like that on webcams? Why are they even still doing the webcams instead of professional cameras? Well, because it tells people this is still, you know, you need to be at home. It just seems odd to me. Especially that show in particular. You look at their whole lineup. Somebody on the left would say, well, why do you pick on them? Blah, blah, blah. It's because they've picked a side. Comedy Central, these networks, they've all picked a side. They should be totally neutral. They shouldn't be talking about politics. But yet, every network, every company has now picked a side. I don't understand it. They shouldn't be either way. They should be independent and not talk about either side, because that's just as bad as any kind of other tampering. They shouldn't be right. They shouldn't be left. That's my opinion. I don't know what yours is, but you can put it in the comments below. If that angered you or triggered you, put it in the comments below and I will say I'm sorry. I probably won't, but I do love you still, and I think we shouldn't argue about it. I think we should all be family, and the same way as if your family member believes in the opposite thing, you just get over it and you say, I still love you. We didn't hit it today, but you can read this. Ring mailbox sensor. Amazon quietly introduces mail surveillance. No thanks. All right, you guys. Dex, you are you're basically the best part of the show. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for letting me thanks for letting me be me.
You're awesome, Adam. And thanks. Great show.
It's not you, it's me. I just need space. Wait, what are we doing here? I think we're going out Shoutro style. We are going to play that moon video that we had here, and then we're going to play G Willie, I think. And
you got about 2.5 minutes left on YouTube.
Okay, we'll play the movie over on D Live again. Probably going to have to shout some people out here. So, love you guys. YouTube peeps, Susan Donahue, amazing people. All of you, love, love, love. Love.